have a tickle in my throat.
Yeah, you seem to be struggling there. So
maybe you have something to say, and I can go drink some water real quick.
Just take a shot of tequila. We'll that'll take care of the tickle and make the show go a lot brighter. What do I have to say? Oh, hey, I can read this thing I've got on Facebook here.
That's what I was thinking. And guys, this is very interesting. You want to listen to every bit of this. It makes
but I want you to hear it too. So I am.
I'm just going to mute me and take my picture off so I can cough for a second and drink some water. All right.
Okay, well, this is from a friend of ours on Facebook, and I'm not going to mention her name, for several reasons, but she's it's public document here, but she has written something up that basically is in other words, it's against our religion to be wearing masks. And, I'm going to go ahead and read this, and we'll take it from there. You take it from however you want to believe or how you feel about it. But we actually agree with everything said here. So this is what's written. Humans are made in the distinct image and likeness of God. Numerous scriptures discuss the face as people discuss the as people discuss the non-efficacy of masks, the health hazards of them, and the political manipulation of such mandates in light of virtue signaling. Another factor to weigh in is that God is particularly mentioned as having a face. He is not an ethereal blob, and that humans are created in God's image, and our faces reflect the image of God. Genesis 1:26 and 27 establishes mankind's purpose. Humans are distinctly made in the image of God. God makes a distinction between animal and human form and declares that he made mankind in his form or shape. The image of God in humanity depicts humans as distinct from animals. Genesis 3:21, God made clothing for mankind but did not cover their faces. The human face proclaims that we are made in the image of God. Exodus 34:29 through 35 says Moses' face shone with God's glory. Moses' arms and legs did not shine, but his face uniquely shined with glory, since our faces reflect the image and likeness of God. Wearing a face mask disregards this elevated significance compared to other parts of the human body that we do not cover up. 1 Corinthians 15:49. And as we have borne the image of the man of dust, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly man. Colossians 1:15. The Son of God is the image of the invisible God. 2 Corinthians 3:18. But we all, with unveiled face, behold as in a mirror the glory of the Lord. Matthew 17:1 and 2. When the Son of God was transfigured into his glory, his face shone like the sun. Our faces, too, are a unique reflection of God's glory. Revelation 7:9 through 12. The redeemed who fall on their faces around the throne of God do not have their faces masked. Genesis 38:14 through 15. According to Judah, face-covered women in ancient Canaan identified harlots. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a harlot because she had covered her face. Various religions have protocol regarding facial coverings, veils, and masks. The Muslim religion has distinct rules regarding face coverings, which they expect to be followed in order to be in good standing with their religion. Burqa type clothing of ancient Syria may be identified with brides or whatever other reasons they have established. Likewise, Judeo Christian religions, as well as other religions, have distinct beliefs which must be maintained in order to be in good standing with their religion, as distinct from any other religion. I hold distinct religious convictions that prohibit me from covering the face with a mask as a routine or common event, apart from a religious event, which my conscience compels me to practice and uphold in order to be in good standing with my God. Wow. I have to agree. Looks like Sandi has bowed. There we go. She's back.
I just was listening. So
Yeah. Very good. I mean, a lot of scripture, and every single one of them is basically she took the scripture and said what the scripture says rather than quoting the scripture. But you can look all of those up. And of course, if you didn't catch all those, you can go back to the archive of the show and play it and stop it and look each one of them up if you want to. But I think everything that she said is very much to the point. Adina and I discussed it yesterday, and it's kind of one of those things that where now this, of course, is supposed to be only temporary. And if it is only temporary, it's kind of a different thing. But the second that wearing masks becomes a permanent law, then I would suggest, and if your convictions go this way, is to stand up for yourself, use these and anything else that you believe that there should be, and stand up for yourself, go to court and get it to the point where it's a religious conviction. Every single thing that's said in that discourse right there can be taken to court and argued for your own religious conviction to not wear a mask.
It's really good. You hear about all the other aspects of mask wearing and how it is so detrimental to your health. It's actually causing sickness. It does no good. But you hear all of, and there's many more. But to hear it from the scriptural and how we believe part really adds a layer that should be a final nail for the mask thing. And, I don't even think that you should wait to see if it becomes permanent because, they keep extending the date and redo things. And John will not wear a mask anywhere. Yesterday I was with him because you're supposed to wear a mask here because Abbott went amok. And I wore one on my wrist. I put it on my wrist and I just carried it around like that. Yeah. But I felt more emboldened because John was with me too. Yeah. But I have worn one and I put it on and then I put it here. Yeah. So my mouth, so in other words, I'm bucking the system too. I'm just not quite as blatant and as bold as John is.
Yeah. I think there's been 2 times since all of this started that I've ever absolutely had to wear one, no matter what. If I wanted to go in the store or do anything, I'd like to relay an incident, but I don't know. Some people may not like it very well, but from what I understand, and I hate to go to Walmart for a billion different reasons, but for me, a quick and easy buy, it's Walmart, and it's real close to where we live, and I can pop in, pop out. I'm done, gone. Now from what I understand, last week, Walmart across the nation has now set their standards that it is required, no matter what, you have to wear a mask to walk in. Now, even though before this, they already had signs everywhere saying it's required, but the last two times I've been in there, at least half, and that's just a general idea based on me walking around, half the people did not have masks on the last time I was in. But I haven't been in there since the corporation of Walmart changed their standards basically. And of course, once again, it always boils down to the fact that every business has the right to refuse you service no matter what.
And that's the right.
They have that right to do that. But here's another thought, and I'm just randomly throwing some things out there. I'm 65 years old. I have about 14 different things. Now, see, I'm hearing a feedback or something. Are you hearing that? I don't know what is going on.
I'll mute.
It's okay. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as it has been other times. But at 65 years old, and I battle about 14 different things, not on a daily basis, but here and there, one thing will pop up, another thing will pop up, and my immune system at some point has been compromised before. And so at 65, and with these things going on, I do weigh the fact of whether or not it would be better for me to, when I'm in close contact with people that I don't know, it would be better for me to actually be wearing a mask. I do wear glasses, so anything flying through the air, I do have a little bit more of a shield there, and that's one thing that I am concerned. I don't worry about these things, and the fear is not there. I mean, like I say, I literally don't wear a mask unless I'm literally forced to. But once again, this is one of my concerns. I've had my immune system compromised before. I do battle a condition called dormant vasculitis. And that means that all my small blood vessels are compromised. And at any given point when there's something that is not right and it enters my body, or there's something that compromises my body, and I have had this happen before. I've been told that it can easily happen again. I did at one point in time, every small blood vessel in my body exploded under the skin. And so when my immune system is compromised, then this could happen to me again. So the concern is there, the reality is there, and once again, I'm totally against wearing the mask. But there's always each person has to weigh in on their own convictions and where they stand and what's going on. My only other concern, and I've only as of late thought of this, I'm sure because of all the things that you and John and everybody else have heard and talked about and studied and everything, probably thought about this before, but my only other thought would be is that, boy, the Muslims could sure jump on this and eventually be that, okay, none of the men have to wear masks, but all the women have to wear masks to prepare themselves for the takeover of the Muslim rise up in this country. You know, that's another thought, because we'd already be ready for it if something like that should happen. So anyway, that's my.
I thought about that too, Mark. I thought about that as well.
I figured you had.
Well, I want to go back to what you said about Walmart. We have people in our congregation that have gotten in and they won't wear a mask. And when I go in there, I look, and most people in Amarillo, Texas are very compliant, but their mask wearing, their nose is sometimes, usually a lot of people's nose isn't covered, which is great. I mean, I'm fine with it. And then other people are got it here. And I've got into Walmart and I might put it on a mask to go in, but then I immediately sort of drop it And so,
Uh-huh. Well, to me, the biggest thing, and Dina Dye and I were talking about this the other day, is that, we have 3 different entry points right on the front of our face. So why are you only covering 2?
yes. And if you're covering 2 and these things work, why do you need a social distance? If social distancing works, why do you need to wear masks? If they both work, what's the issue? And then here's the next thing. If the mouth is so full of all of this stuff, then why do you need to stick a huge Q-tip in the back through your nose all the way back towards your brain to get a sample? Really, folks, there's so many things that are contradictory, guys. It's all fake. It is fake. Not saying that this, just like the flu and other things, doesn't affect people. It does. But I saw a post that said, we've got however many more hundreds of thousands of cases to get to where we get as bad as the outbreak in 2009 of something, and yet we shut down nothing. And the case numbers are so far below that. So, this is just, there are other things at play here, and you guys need to be aware of it. It is not about this. This is just to see who are going to be the zombie compliant people that will run and do exactly what they say, who will take things hook, line, and sinker and will fall in line. And who are those that are going to stand up for truth, stand up for their rights, and say, no, you're not taking those constitutional rights away from me. This is the United States. This is wherever you are living. And exactly, Mark. But this other thing is just a smoke screen so that they can do what they want to do. So,
not that I've ever seen a zombie, but I think that's the way they act.
I just picture, or drones that will do, maybe drone is a better word, that will just, yes, master, what else would you like? Well, my master isn't on this earth.
And report everything they see. Yeah, I'm with you. See, there's another thing. There's another thing that's very rarely brought up. Seriously, and we live with this every single day. I mean, personally, my wife and I live with this every day, but whether you know it or not, if you go into the public, you live with a factor that most people don't realize they're living with. Is there are a lot of laws, a lot of rules out there that are never enforced unless somebody complains. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It is solid. It is, it is in our everyday lives, and there are different levels of it. Right. Different things. And I can mention there's a couple of things that we've had to legally deal with ourselves since we've moved to North Carolina. And I probably publicly put that out there before, but I won't now. But literally, because we've had to deal with this particular thing, it's the same thing. It's like at Walmart, because they have signs everywhere, and they've had it before Walmart made it a mandatory thing everywhere. The signs have already been there, but they haven't enforced it. It's only unless somebody complains. So if I'm walking through there and somebody goes to management and complains about it, then management's going to come to me and give me a hard time about it. Now, it's, I don't know. It's one thing leads to another, but it's in our everyday life and so many other things, is that you walk through life and a lot of these laws, we don't know whether or not we're violating or not. And yet, if somebody complains about it, then yeah, you're subject to whatever it is. So there you go. There you go. There you go.
Well, guess what, Mark?
Welcome to America. That's guess what. Welcome.
Yeah, that's guess what.
We are richly blessed to to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.